Hello, talk about trading by numbers. Try this on for size. Draw experts against 13th and lower. Udinese score first. Well, we had a goal disallowed 48th minute, which would have calmed your nerves. And then a penalty for Calhanoglu. That was your first possible exit point. Nice and early equaliser, albeit a penalty. Fast forward. Udinese do not draw against top sides. This is your reference point here. Vast majority of draws, well, every single draw against 13th and lower, as I alluded to, but vast majority of draws coming against 9th and lower. A couple of 0-1 wins. So you had to take insurance out with Udinese leading, laying over 1.5 goals, cover that eventuality. But no problem at all. A nice 1-2 win. That was the key stat, the draw itis. Lay any late draw. And I did mention in the research as well, if you read it, late goal scoring from Udinese, from Inter Milan, late conceding of goals from Udinese. You'll find that in the goal times table. You can get a good look. 9 goals. Well, it was 8 prior to yesterday. 8 goals conceded in the last 15 minutes of home matches. That's how you find your entry and exit points if you're taking on draws, etc. Okay, really good match. Perfectly weighted. It just unravelled exactly how the research suggested it would. Late goals, draws ending, fantastic stuff. Eredivisie, we're expecting over 2.5 goals, which we got, 2 out of 3. And we're expecting both teams to score, which we got in 2 out of 3. Young Ajax will be disappointed not to have got a result there, but is this another case of a struggler getting a result? Den Bosch, I don't know where they are in the league. Yes, indeed. This seems to be catching, doesn't it? Relegation threatened sides getting the better of far better positioned sides. I think it was Young Ajax, sorry. So good result. It's difficult, isn't it, now, this April, to take on these relegation threatened sides, even when they're leading 0-2. We've seen it time and time again. Mansfield was the most recent example of that, wasn't it? Racing Santander couldn't get rid of 2 red cards. Are they being managed by Wayne Rooney or something? Awful stuff. Scoring first. Get the red. Oh, Peque. Right. We've got another one of them, have we? Professional footballer who can't score a penalty. It's my bugbear as a trader. You would have been fuming had you got involved with this and got that news about the missed penalty. Laying over 1.5 goals, regardless of the situation, of course, saves your bacon. 0-1. Laying over 1.5 goals covers that. Allsvenskan, very little for me to report at the moment, unless you were a 1.83 follower of Djurgården. Did they? Yes, indeed they did. They were 0-3 down. Now that, I think, was an angle in. Even if it's only 2 matches into the season, or however many there is in Allsvenskan. I think only 2 or 3. But laying aside 0-3 up away from home, still with enough of the match left. 64th minute, you're going to get Heidenheim type odds here. Hundreds plus, I would suspect, for Djurgården, because they've got half an hour to get it all back. That's the kind of match you look out for and hopefully prosper from. So despite the numbers yesterday, 2 potentially very lucrative plays. Having a look onto today. Champions League today. I can't offer you any angles, and this is the first leg as well. So any defeat by a single goal margin is not catastrophic. I've given you the research from an AI perspective, so please bear that in mind. Tends to love the old 2-1 scoreline, does Mr. AI. Here's another one, look. And he likes the word tightly contested as well. So take what you will out of that. Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 7, which is excellent stuff, but you can't translate domestic form to the Champions League 1-off or 2-off matches. That's something these websites error in. Patterns may not translate. This is all about tactics on the night. You're at home, you've got to make that count. And then tactics away will be a reaction to the home result. Arsenal has kept a clean sheet in all Champions League home games this season. That's fantastic. That's something potentially to go to war with if Bayern Munich open the scoring. Bayern have won 3 out of 4 Champions League away matches as well. So Arsenal had better be on their mettle tonight. 2.37 the favourite tells you everything you need to know about this one. Real Madrid and Manchester City. What does AI have to say? Considering Real Madrid's historical dominance at home in the Champions League and Man City's impressive away form, it's not going for a 2-1. It's going for a 2-3 to Manchester City this evening. Let's see how accurate these are. Real Madrid won the last 11 Champions League quarter-final ties. Wow. Jude Bellingham. Want to see him on the team sheet for Real Madrid. We've also got, looks like a late night for me, so I'm starting on the coffee early. English Championship, English League 1 and English League 2. So I'll be not researching these, even though there are previews available. As you can see here, I would recommend you have a read of the previews that have been written. Extremely well written. Hot stats are excellent. If you want a shortcut to potential trading angles, I find this route cuts your time immensely and gives you some really strong trading angles. We know that Millwall are on a 2-match losing run against relegation threatened sides, Rotherham and Huddersfield, the latter being a 90th plus minute goal, which we laid the draw in. Pre-game facts. Have a read of these. Have to go backwards in order to stop them. There have been fewer than 3 goals scored in each of the Millwall's last 4 home games. So that could open the door up to under 2.5 goals. But to take a brave soul to back under 2.5 goals in a Leicester City match. Millwall have only won 1 of the last 5 games against Leicester. Millwall have won just 1 of the last 5 championship games. More goals have been scored in the second half in 9 out of 10 last games between Millwall and Leicester. Again, I don't take head-to-heads to heart because, of course, you're going to get natural team changes, natural managerial changes and changes in fortune because of those. So we can't really translate, I think, head-to-head form as an accurate representation of what might happen today. 8 out of 10 games between Millwall and Leicester have ended up with an odd number of goals. There we go. Don't know if you can work with that one. Fewer than 3 goals scored in each of Millwall's last 4. So very few pre-game facts, but you've also got an excellent write-up here. And if you wanted an in-depth look at these matches, I'm not going to be doing it for you today, but copy and paste that. Copy and paste the preview here. Go to ChatGPT. Give it a prompt. Provide me with a pre-match analysis based on the information given. I'd like some key stats at the end of the match and your conclusions as to who might win and the potential correct score. Something like that. And let the ChatGPT do its work. But I'll be purely reactive. We know the case here. We know Millwall have lost 2 consecutive matches against relegation threatened sides. We know Leicester City are on the cusp of an automatic promotion. Top of the league. But they've still got Leeds who could spoil the party as far as dropping Leicester into playoff places, which they do not want. And at the base, it's troubling times for Millwall. 2 consecutive defeats, 3 in 4 matches against Huddersfield and against Rotherham. Now, Rotherham, you're supposed to pick points up. Look at this lot. They're down. So, woeful drop in form at the wrong time. Plymouth and QPR. Plymouth is another side But the best way to look at these two sides is give this a tick. You go to the standings and it will tell you the motivation factor for this evening. Plymouth are only 2 points above the relegation zone. QPR are only 4. So arguably, even though they're 17th and 19th, it's got a touch of relegation 6-pointer about it, hasn't it? Must take points off your near rival. The onus really is on QPR to increase the gap from 6 points to 9. Just with a win. Sorry, not 6 points, 4 points to 7, just with a win today. And indeed, they were on the cusp of the 50-point mark, which should be safety, of course. So plenty going on with that one. Preston and Huddersfield, again, having a look at their league position only. 2.25 the favourites, suggests a toughie. Preston are pressing the top 6 places. A win today, with Norwich playing a game more, and West Brom playing a game more, will be crucial to that cause. That will take them to 7th or thereabouts, based on goal difference. But more importantly, within 4 points of the precious promotion playoff place. They play a Huddersfield who must bounce off that win against Millwall, the crucial win, taking points off your near rival. Absolutely crucial. Got them out of the relegation zone. A win today, take them up to 46 points. So again, this is one of those matches. You wouldn't necessarily discount Huddersfield. It's been the case. And there's old Mr. Power Tool. So let me just close my... No, he's gone, is he? Mr. Power Tool. This is one of those matches. It's tended to favour the relegation threatened side this late March and early April. Amazing. Sheffield Wednesday and Norwich. Yeah, time to close the door. Mr. Power Tool has returned. Crucial win for Sheffield Wednesday last match. How has that impacted them at the bottom? No, they're second bottom, but still, can you imagine if they hadn't have won? They'd be outside of the 40-point. Here, this lot are within their sights. A win today for Sheffield Wednesday could help their cause significantly. Norwich, though, I've already alluded to the teams queuing up at the back to take their precious playoff place. They'll get the 70-point mark with the win today. That's psychologically important because there's only 4 sides who've done that this season. Another where you might see an overperformance from the side that you don't expect. Southampton and Coventry. Southampton are lagging a little now at the top. Look at the standings. It's getting troubling for the Saints. As far as automatic promotion's concerned, they are way off the mark. 12 points off automatic promotion. They're going to have to look at cementing that playoff place, and they do not want to go through this heartache. But it looks... Well, they've got 2 games in hand over second and third. If they win those, that's 81 points. So they will get to the crucial 80-plus point barrier, winning the 2 games in hand. Coventry, one of those sides keen to get Norwich's perch, the Canaries' perch. A win today, take them within 1 point with that game in hand. So another crucial match. They're all crucial. Leeds against Sunderland. Leeds looking for the automatic promotion spot. They could enter that territory with a win today, but they'll have played a game more than Ipswich and 2 games more than Leicester. But they'll be temporarily in that 80-plus point top 2 place. Sunderland, they've cracked the 50-plus point barrier. They look safe from relegation. Very little for them left to play for. So the onus will be on Leeds today to really take Sunderland to town. We can do the same. Have a quick look at English League 1, English League 2. I'm not researching, and I will be reacting in play. It's a late night for me tonight, but I'm willing to stay up for you to see if we can dig out some profit. Fleetwood still can survive, although with 4 relegation places, it's going to be a tough ask. They're 2 consecutive wins away from Port Vale's berth in 20th. Blackpool, yet another one of those sides who are clinging to the hope of promotion playoff place. A win takes them to 67 points. They won't really move up, but they'll be a lot nearer. Bristol Rovers and Reading. Again, please read the previews. They're very rare for the English League One. Bristol Rovers and Reading. I like to work this way, and then I like to take my cues from the market as well. With Bristol Rovers on 50 plus points, you'd think that could be safe enough. Reading still looking behind their shoulder at Burton. 2 wins away from catching them. A win today for Reading takes them to 49. Bristol Rovers will cement their 50 plus point barrier and enter the top 12 with a win today. Not urgent yet for Bristol Rovers, but certainly for Reading. You're only 2 wins for your opponents away. Charlton and Wigan. Looking at the standings here. 50 points against 52. Again, is that 50-point barrier safety? I don't know. So they're mid-table, but there's still, well, there is a 10-point gap to the relegation zone. Cheltenham and Carlisle. I don't think Cheltenham are quite safe. Well, this is a relegation 6-pointer, isn't it? The onus really is on Cheltenham because Carlisle look done. Carlisle are 13 points from safety. Cheltenham have 2 games in hand over Carlisle. Must take 3 points off them today to get one of these places filled. And to break the 40-point barrier as well, with Burton having played 2 matches more. The onus really is on Cheltenham to get the win today, take them out of the relegation zone, notwithstanding other results, of course. So Cheltenham here, and look at that, 1.62. So I didn't even see the odds. That aligns with the need there. Leyton Orient and Exeter. Exeter have done a brilliant job in wriggling out of the relegation zone into mid-table obscurity. They couldn't care less. 14 points, all down to a recent raft of wins and draws under new management. Fantastic stuff from Exeter. That's what can happen when you go on a push and you time it perfectly. Leyton Orient. Are they eyeing Oxford United's 6th place? They've got 9 points to catch up. Is it doable? Well, 3 points will help. We'll leap them over Blackpool and Stevenage with a win today. Stevenage and Barnsley, I'm not sure why there isn't a preview. But we know where Stevenage are. They're near the promotion playoff places. Barnsley are in the promotion playoff places. They've had a couple of awry results. The Cambridge one was the most significant given where Cambridge's league position is. Barnsley dropping 6 points out of the last 9 available. They're still going to cling on to top 6 regardless of what others do tonight. But this could take them further, cement them into these top 4 places. And we've got English League 2. Let's have a quick look at league positions here. So this is all I'll do at this stage of the season in these lower tier leagues. I'll take my cue from the market, odds on favourites and league positions. Barrow against Bradford City. Bradford have an air of safety about them. They can still catch Crawley. But a win today takes them to that psychologically important 60-point barrier. That will make it a lot nearer to Crawley. Barrow could break into that psychologically important 70-point barrier with a win today and still a distant hope of an automatic promotion spot, probably 2nd or 3rd, of course. Colchester and Stockport. We know Stockport are top of the league, but where are Colchester? This could be another one of those funny matches. There's only 2 relegation places, so a win for Colchester takes them out. And look at how many games they've got in hand over Sutton and Forest Green. The onus on Colchester today to get something. Stockport did have a recent run of 0-0s and low-scoring matches, but 4 consecutive wins now. They're really cementing their top spot here. This could be more interesting than the obvious result suggests. Doncaster and Walsall. Again, enter your standings. Donny and Walsall mid-table mediocrity, but Walsall are banging on the door. A win today will have them equal on points with Crawley in 7th. Talk about motivation. And indeed, a win for Doncaster will take them to 61 points, which is very near to Crawley's place. So as far as a promotion playoff place is concerned, this is a key match for these two sides. Harrogate and Grimsby. It's Grim up north. Let's have a quick look. It's Grim down south as well, look. But they're still above the relegation zone by about 5 points. Another win today will scoot them up to 46. Harrogate, one of those sides, could break into the 60-plus point barrier with a win today. Mansfield and Forest Green. Well, we know where Forest Green are. I wouldn't discount Forest Green. Mansfield, an appalling 1-4 defeat last match against one of these relegation-threatened sides. Absolutely appalling. But they still retain that top 4 spot, and they could go into the automatic promotion spots with a win today. They've got a game in hand over second. So we'll follow that. Forest Green are near the relegation zone. I wouldn't be discounting this, but Forest Green have been pants this season. But Mansfield put together a really poor 1-4 defeat at similar odds, 1.4 in the last match. Be very wary. Morecambe against Crewe. Bring me sunshine. Old Eric. Where is Eric? 10th place. 5 points to the automatic promotion spots. Doable. Crewe. A win takes him to the psychologically important 70-point barrier. So this is a key match for the promotion playoff places. Newport and Accrington Stanley. We back Newport at 24-1 against Forest Green. Got a very nice result. Accrington, they look safe enough. Only 2 relegation places is very generous for this league. Accrington look okay. Newport, again, another one of those teams who will be keen to break the 60-point barrier. This will help. Take them up to 58 with a win today. And Wrexham and Crawley. We know Crawley are in the last promotion playoff place. Take them up to 68 with a win today. Could cement them into 5th or 6th. They're playing Wrexham. We've got a huge motivation to keep Mansfield, Barrow, Crewe et al. Away from these valuable automatic promotion spots. 1.55 favourite today, Wrexham. But you wouldn't be discounting Crawley. We've seen other instances. We've had it with 2 recent matches where the promotion playoff sides got the wins. So just be careful. One of them was against Mansfield. I think it was, can't remember who it was. Was it Coventry? So just be a little wary with that. Crawley. There we go. The relegation playoff place. That is a mirror of this match here. So watch out. Crawley can take points off the big guns. So just be careful. So it's going to be a fascinating night tonight. I'm going to have to do a late one for you. Hopefully there'll be a trade or 2 involved and we don't have to waste our time. If they could all be like Udinese into Milan, just ticking every single box, it would be legendary. Nothing else, as you can see, apart from Bodo Glimt at 5 o'clock. This should be a massacre. 2 matches into the new season in the Eliteserien for Bodo Glimt, and they've won both of them. They are a very reliable side if they're up for the cup. Scottish Championship, well, we can keep an eye at 7:45, but the first match looks an imponderable. Problem we have with the leagues there is a lack of liquidity. So I'll see you tonight, members of footballtradingprofits.com. I'll see you for a telegram at 7:45 p.m. and a little earlier for Bodo Glimt. See if there's any action there. So see you later on Telegram. I've got my coffee ready.